Amelia's fingers brushed against the smooth glass panel beside her bed. A soft melodic hum filled the room, and the artificial sunrise on her ceiling brightened, its light perfectly calibrated to her sleep cycle. The house her silent partner had decided it was time to wake up. She sat up, and her AR glasses, which she never took off, came to life. They didn't feel like glasses. They were an extension of her eyes, a transparent layer over reality. Her schedule for the day, a small list of tasks and appointments, appeared floating above her nightstand. A small icon of a cloud and sun, accompanied by the word perfect, confirmed the day's weather. She blinked twice to confirm her readiness, and the glasses dissolved the overlay, leaving her with a clear view of her room. In the kitchen, her automated food dispenser was already waiting. It had analyzed her morning cravings from her biometrics and was preparing a nutrient-rich shake in her favorite mug. The mug itself, a simple ceramic cup, glowed with a gentle warmth as it filled. She held it in her hands, its temperature a comforting signal of a well-ordered life. She stepped out of her building and a silent, driverless pod glided to a stop in front of her. The door opened and she slid into the seat. The pod was more than a vehicle. It was a personal office on wheels. A floating screen appeared in front of her, and she used simple hand gestures to pull up her work for the day. She could see other pods moving in a choreographed dance on the street below. No one needing to navigate, no one worried about traffic. The city was a quiet ballet of machines, all moving with a purpose. At work, her desk was a smooth, empty surface. When she sat down, it recognized her and projected a full holographic display of her current projects. She moved objects and data with her hands as if she were sculpting the air itself. Later, her brother's face appeared as a hologram beside her desk. A surprise call. "Morning, sis," he said, his 3D image as clear as if he were standing next to her. She instinctively reached out, her fingers passing through his projected form, a small reminder that even with all this technology, some things were still a world away. When a sudden headache began to throb behind her eyes, her glasses immediately flashed a diagnostic. "Stress levels elevated," a small, discreet message said, recommending a 5-minute break. She sighed and walked to a comfortable chair in the corner of the office. The chair, a soft, self-adjusting cushion, immediately enveloped her. It lowered the room's ambient lighting and played a gentle, calming frequency that soothed her mind. The pain faded and she returned to her desk, the technology having solved her problem before it could even fully begin. A flash of memory, a fleeting comparison crossed her mind. She thought of a day back in 2025, a time she had read about. Waking up required a blaring alarm from a phone, a device that had to be physically held. The morning commute was a frantic dance of checking traffic apps, navigating with a map on a separate screen, and constantly battling for space on the road. The smart homes of that era were a jumble of different devices from different companies, none of them talking to each other. People would shout commands to an assistant from another room, only to have it respond with, "I'm sorry, I didn't get that." Internet connections were sometimes slow, and dropped calls were a common frustration. To get work done, you needed a tangled mess of screens and cables, a stark contrast to her current empty desk. It was a world of clunky tools and small, recurring irritations. She realized just how much had changed, how the friction had been sanded away. As she worked, she looked at her hands, still and resting on the cool surface of the desk. The glasses, the desk, the chair. They were all designed to make life simple, to remove discomfort, and to make every moment efficient. But as she thought about it, she realized that they had done more than just simplify her life. They had woven themselves into the very fabric of it. The gadgets were no longer just tools, but extensions of herself. She was a silent, peaceful part of a magnificent, interconnected design. Like this video if you enjoy.